Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to play a little Dimir Excruciator. So with Strixhaven, we got a new card for specifically this deck in Emeritus of Ideation. Well, let's just say Ancestral Recall on a stick. So a 5 mana 5/5 wizard, flying wizard isn't that crazy, honestly. It's the pretty bad stats, but he does come with Ancestral Recall prepared, and Ancestral Recall is a P9, right? A Power-9 card, which says, oh, its ability is so good, there's only 9 of them in existence, 9 cards in existence that has this level of effect. One of them is called Ancestral Recall back in Alpha. 1 blue mana, instant speed, target player draws 3 cards. Now, a lot of times people just think, well, targeting myself drawing 3 cards, that's insanely strong. But Emeritus of Ideation also has an additional ability for this deck. That is, after we Doomsday Excruciator them, they'll have no cards left in their deck but 6 cards. And then if we make them draw 3 cards, they only have 3 cards, which means they'll deck out way faster than we do, most likely in a turn or 2. So, that is the whole idea of this deck, and as the addition to the deck helped. So let's talk about the whole deck list. Obviously, we have the main combo, which is Kavaero into Doomsday Excruciator, which by default is already very strong. But we also slot in Deceit thanks to Lorwyn Eclipse, where we can also pay 4 mana, 2 blue, 2 black, to get the full value of the Deceit, making them bounce a permanent and discard a card. Sometimes they have, permanents that we cannot stop, like artifacts or enchantments. Well, this Dimir deck does not fear that. We got a destroy target permanent right here in Deceit. So we can bounce their permanent and make him discard that with 1 activation or 1 cast of the Kavaero. And then if we have Cavern of Souls, it's even uncounterable. That's the insane sort of package in this deck. We can make an uncounterable Kavaero into Doomsday. We can also make an uncounterable Kavaero into Deceit. And then after that, we can even make an uncounterable Emeritus into you draw 3 cards and deck out. So all of that is in the plans for this deck. But to get there, we have to have a lot of removal, a lot of card draw, and a lot of sort of sustainability. So let's talk about that. Again, this is a combo deck. I don't really want to talk about the curve. The combo is right here, right? We have the Kavaero, Doomsday, and Emeritus. These are really the cards that we don't want to hardcast. Now, you typically don't want to hardcast Deceit as well, but you could cast Deceit at the 2 mana just to Thoughtseize them. Right? Make them discard a card for 2 black mana, which is pretty good. So here's how it works. So we have Hand Disruption in terms of 3 Duress and 4 Deceit. That's 7 cards for Hand Disruption and Knowledge. You get to look at your opponent's hand and figure out what exactly they're playing, which is crucial in early game in the current standard, which is very fast. Then we have a lot of removal. We have 4 Requiting Hex, 3 Bitter Triumph, and 2 Shoot the Sheriff, 1 Strategic Betrayal. Lots of removal that makes sure that we're not dying to any early game creature. And the best thing about this is that our Bitter Triumph can actually just toss Emeritus and Doomsday into the graveyard if we happen to draw them in our hand, and we don't want them in our hand because I don't want to hardcast them. So that is where Bitter Triumph has a huge leg up against Shoot the Sheriff. And then we also have our board wipe in 2 Day of Black Sun. I think it's a pretty good board wipe because we don't want to wipe too heavy CMC of board, but we want to be able to do it fast. So I want to be able to do it at 4 mana speed. Day of Black Sun can do that for all the Badger Mode goodness, right? All the 2 drops dies. So Day of Black Sun does exactly that. And then we have our card draws. So we have 2 Stock Up. I cut the Stock Up a little bit. I originally wanted to run Flow State, but I don't think this deck has enough instants for Flow States to make sense, since there are only the Hex, the Bitter Triumph, and the Shoot the Sheriff. That's 9 instants. I don't think it's enough for a Flow State, so I just stuck with Stock Up. And then we also have 4 Winternight Stories. This card is very good for this deck because we want to toss these in the graveyard, and Winternight Stories allow us to do that. And a lot of times when we draw Winternight Stories and nothing else, we're not too sad about just pitching them into the graveyard with our Bitter Triumph, because whenever we cast a Deceit or cast a Kavaero on a Deceit, we'll have a creature on board where we can harmonize the Winternight Stories side. And I also have 1 Insatiable Avarice, which is another way to make target opponent or target player draw 3 cards. Now you can see the level of P9, right? If you look at the Ancestral Recall, it's a 1 mana blue instant. This is target player draws 3 cards. Insatiable Avarice, it's the spree, so it is modo. But if you look at the 3 black pip, right? So 3 black mana, target player draws 3 cards, and you still have to lose 3 life, and it's sorcery speed. So in the best, one of the best cards that you know, Thunder Junction gave us in terms of card draw is Avarice for black, and it's a 3 mana draw 3, and you have to lose 3 life. Whereas this is a 1 mana draw 3 at instant speed. So yeah, it's insane for them to put P9 into standard, and they did, but at least they did it in a way that it's not too broken. So that's the whole idea. Of course, it's an Excruciator deck with a lot of lands. 26 lands total. 4 of them is the Restless Reef. So when we Doomsday them, we can attack them with a Reef. They mill 4 cards. So instead of having 6 cards in their deck, they have 2 cards left, and they'll deck out. So that's why we have a lot of lands in the deck. We also have 4, well, to round off the blue-black color, we have 4 Watery Grave, 2 Undercity Sewer, 4 Gloomlake Verge, just 1 Starting Town, perhaps we hit it early, and then 9 Swamps, plus 2 Cavern of Souls. You don't want to have too many Cavern of Souls because we do have a lot of instant sorcery. So when it can't add, color mana, it's gonna hurt us a lot. So Cavern of Souls is very good against blue decks that will counter our Kavaeros, but it's kind of useless almost any other situation. So that's why we only have 2 of them, and then we have a lot of blue-black lands and 9 swamps to make sure that we have all the pips in case we need a hard cast a Doomsday Excruciator for whatever reason. But you do need to have sufficient blue pips because sometimes you also have a hard cast of the Deceit. So you got to make sure you have at least 2 blue pips to hard cast the Deceit to get the bounce side of its ability. And that's the whole idea of the Dimir Excruciator. Let's go into the game to see how well this will do. Alright, our opponent is the Java F92. Java F. He's a big draft contender, but we're a big go first player. Love it. Here is a Restless Reef. That way we get to deceive them and see where everything is going. Maybe. But I will have to take turn 3 off. I think it's worth it to deceive them, right? Let me look at your hand. Turn to Deceit. There's Erode, Burst, Lightning, Erode. I don't really care about any of these cards. I just take an Erode here. They can kill our creatures. I don't care if they kill our creatures. Ramping us is insane. But we are playing against blue-white control. Cavern of Souls. So do we just go for the Winternight Story this turn? I think so. Right, good. I mean, they can't counter us next turn. We're also not going to Winternight Story next turn, so... let's go for humans. Yes. Cavern of Souls. Discard 2 unless it's our creature. Looks like we're discarding 2. A Hex and a Shoot the Sheriff. What does this do? Activate abilities, artifacts, and creatures. I don't have an activated abilities of any of those. So let me just... Add blue. Add blue. Black. Look, Kavaeros. Let me just deceit you a little bit. Bounce your Clarion Conqueror. And we will... oh, okay. So this is the deck, huh? If I take their Sarkhan... I think the Clarion Conqueror. They won't have a demon or dragon. We could top deck a dragon, but it doesn't hurt. Sarkhan. Behold nothing. Okay. This makes it so that we can Winternight Story, although we don't get another blue. It's fine, still, I think we do it. Scar 2? Let's discard a creature. I'll decline. I will discard 2. Like this. Do we hex this guy? Let's just hex this guy. Do they protect? They don't. I'm gonna keep this on top no matter what. Under City Sewer. I'm gonna keep this on top no matter what. Makes him think I want to keep it so that he erodes me. He didn't erode me. Which, I mean, that's fine. I would take another land. We got blue. They're gonna stock up. I could just start attacking them, honestly. Ashley. Cool. Did he discard? They discard their erode. Omoshiroi. Okay, we could stocking up here isn't too great, right? I can also Kavaero one of their creatures, but those creatures are pretty bad. I can kill the Ashling and then exile the whole graveyard. I can also Winternight Story again. I think I would. Rather than a stock up. Alright, now if I exile the Emeritus, or discard the Emeritus, I can Kavaero it. I don't want to discard 2 lands, so I will do it like this. And then... let's look at our hand. What do you actually have? Frostcliff Cleave. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Let's betray him. Your Ashlings have betrayed you. Reef. Well, I have to surveil this, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. I would draw 3 cards, so that's a definite plus for us. Didn't even do anything here. Okay, so we'll go for the attack. Did not want to do anything, so we'll play our Verge. And let's Kavaero. Out our crazy Ancestral Recall. Yes, I would like to have an Ancestral Recall. 1 mana, draw 3? Pretty broken card. Don't have 8 cards in the graveyard yet, so I can't actually get the recall back. But if he erodes us, I do have Ward. I want to draw 3. Please and thank you. Either way, I'm drawing those 3. Well, he has an expelling this. Okay. I mean, I guess you can do all that. Expelling this hell here. Expelling this hell. Exhaling this spell. Dispelling exhale. I know what I said. Well, he's shown me that he has nothing. And I'm going to show him a stock up. That's got to be disheartening, right? When your opponent has a stock up when you have nothing. Okay, that's a Doomsday and a Deceit. So we can really make him have nothing. Again, I don't think it's just 4 mana to see him. That way I get a 6/6 out there. I can also... no, I can't play the demon, right? Not enough mana to play a demon. Yeah. So I could Deceit and Deceit again, but I think... is it better to Deceit and Deceit? No. Just go with this. I don't have to bounce anything. I mean, I guess I can bounce my Kavaero, but I don't even want to do that. They could 5 mana burn my Kavaero, but... yeah. If they want to use 5 mana and burn the Kavaero, I'll let them do it. That would take out all of their cards. That's not a good plan. But he kind of has to do it. Wow, okay, nice top deck. Shiko into the road. I'll take action. Demon. Why not? Excruciating time. Both our decks. And GG. Good game, buddy. Alright, our opponent is Emeritus. Admits it. Opponent, finally, opponent goes first. We don't want to go first. So far, we've gone first every game, and for the last 3 games, we've drawn nothing but lands. Every card was a land. Simple garden. I might need to kill his creature, and I don't think I would care about him countering my stuff. Oh, this is awkward. I might need a demon as well. It's fine. It's fine. It's not playing anything. I don't need to get out the Deceit this early. 3 mana nothing is weird. Should we just Deceit him? What are you playing there? Emergency exit. Non-land permanent. I don't have any. Heritage Reclamation. Exile 1 card from a graveyard. Yeah, I don't want that. So get that out of the way. Cool. Now you can't target my graveyard that easily. Winternight Story on Excruciator. Might be better in the stock. Stock up is top 5. I might need to hit a land hard. So let's stock up here. I might need to hit 2 lands, honestly. Do I need to hit 2 lands is the question, right? So I'm taking starting town here, so I can play this turn. Next turn I'm Winternight Story, so maybe Emeritus. Yeah, he basically has nothing. And he has just waited out. He does have counter spells though. So this demon might matter. Let's fix our draw first. Gloomlake Verge is fine. I will Winternight Stories. So far it doesn't seem like they have any counterspell. Let's decline so I can discard the Emeritus and probably the Black Sun. They still have nothing. So do we Deceit him? Actually, create a lander token. I don't have Caveros. Right? I do want to have Caveros before I throw out the demon. Otherwise, I could Deceit him, but I don't know if I get anywhere with the Deceit. Because he has a lot of removal. Really, it's just 1 get loss, but it's still enough to be a threat. I'm just gonna hardcast this. This forces a removal, and I don't really care if he removes the Deceit. Is it just a bunch of lands? It's just a bunch of lands. They got to get lost. Yes, Breeding Pool? Is it just a ramp deck? Eesh. I'm very weirded out. There's Caveros. Alright, if I excruciate him, what happens here? He has 2 cards to potentially hit me with something. Right, yeah, he has 2 cards to potentially hit me with something. I do have a Reef too. But I could just Kavaero's. It's on Demon. Alright, so. Black, black, oops, blue, blue, black. That's it. I really just needed 2 black. Sure. No witness. Yeah, I'm not sure what this deck does. In all honesty. Seems pretty fringe. Seems like a fringe deck. Winternight Stories again. I'll decline. And get rid of these creature things. I don't think I have enough right now, so let me Duress. It's a land. Cool. What does this do? Hexproof counter. Deal combat damage to player, you may remove it. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Okay, it's hexproof. I can't target it. Sure. So if I do this, I'll have 2 mana left. He draws 1 card. I don't know what 1 card he draws could help. I have 3 mana. Wait a minute. I could make him draw 3 cards. I don't know if there's a need. I should make him draw 3 cards when he's... That's like the last card you draw. Okay, what did he do? He's drawing cards and then died. What was that? I'm sorry, Mitz. Do you know how this game works? Maybe that's just a Sudoku. Well, GG. Alright, our opponent is Onichos. Onichans. Okay, you go first. Cool. I don't hate that you go first. I do need more land stuff. This, shoot the sheriff. So I wanted Deceit. Then I want a Winternight Story, probably tossing the Emeritus. Shoot the Sheriff could be useful. I don't know what they are yet, so I'm gonna hold it. Could be relevant. Could be not relevant. We'll find out. Throw a Deceit. I'm lying. Alright, there is Seam Rip I don't care about. Nowhere to Run I also don't care about. It's probably just the most helpful Weaver. Then he has no creatures. I don't know if Shoot the Sheriff will hit. I guess we just Winternight Story here. It's a lot of lands. I'm gonna keep my stuff. Strongest Emeritus 5/5. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my stuff. Decline, and I'll discard 2 lands. Which means I still have 5 lands. There's nowhere to run that he wants to throw at me. Not gonna be able to shoot the sheriff this either. So I guess the question is, do I Kavaero a Deceit? I mean, I don't think it's too bad to Kavaero Deceit either. make sure to tap 2 black. Not that I'm hitting anything here. But this will let me Winternight Story next turn, which help filter the whole deck. It's gonna know where to run right now. Why would you do that? Yeah, I can't make you discard your nowhere to run, but nor would I care. I really just want to look at the hand. Okay, so now we could... Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. That is an Emeritus turn. I don't need a Winternight Story if I get Emeritus. I don't know how they will get rid of Emeritus with 1 card in their hand. Emeritus of Ideation. Oh, GG. Nice black and white net deck. Onichos. Alright, our opponent is Tranquillo, the Brilliant. You go first. How about some tap lands? Tranquillo. Steam Vents. Well, check it out. A card that would have been useful last game. Coming here in this game. Ray sees a pattern. Oh, look. Blue-eye control. Lovely. Improvisation Capstone, huh? I kind of already see where this deck is going. Now, if I take the Consult, we'll just do the Consult again, but I still think I take the Consult. Capstone's gonna be a while. Let's go with the Winternight Stories. We're gonna in-response consult. Why would you in-response consult? You're not getting all the information right now. Okay, there's an Excruciator. We'd probably just toss that. Yeah, right? Yeah, we'll probably just toss the Excruciator. I don't think I'm hardcasting it. Tap land, go again. Well, maybe we'll get this Winternight Story counter, but I don't really have another play, so let's sewer. Okay, that's all of them. I will keep the Emeritus. And I'll discard 2 lands. I don't know what I'm doing here. That's a lot of just there's a loot. Yeah, I can't stop the loot from happening. I could Duress. There's an Abrade. Can I take your Abrade? Loot's a good card. He's got 8 mana. 10 mana. Any turn is a Jeskai Revelation turn, honestly. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. He could have Jeskai Revelation, to be honest, but I still think we have to do this here. Look for Elemental. Full cast Deceit. The top deck. Is this one top deck? The card that I was afraid of. Otherwise, I'll bounce your loot. I don't think it's a Revelation at this point, but maybe he just helix my Deceit. Like, I don't really care if he just like puts all his creatures to kill, or all his spells to kill my Deceit. That's not really a good play. He has 2 loots though, so I guess he doesn't really care about us bouncing the loot. He'll just do it again. We'll tap him out. That's important. He's got 1 mana. He has 1 mana of any color. Oh boy. Okay, well, don't say we never warned you. I mean, I can drop the Watery Grave, but I don't need to. Blue, blue, black, 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 black. Wanna see me fucking do it again? Aha! Get out of here, loot control. Jeez, how many times have we had to face this deck? Alright, our opponent is Dosei-san. Is it San or Chan? Can't, that's too fast. You go first. A bunch of swamps, so I can't play any of these. I'm gonna keep anyways. Because I know if I mulligan, it would just be worse. And if they don't have creatures, then I will have time. So it's kind of how it goes. Rest is 3. See? It's just kind of how it goes. What are they gonna play here? Is it gonna be a Badgermole? Dredger's Insight. Oh. It's a Kavaero deck. He is a Kavaero deck. I too am a Kavaero deck. But I have my Kavaero. I guess we toss this. Yeah. Weird as this sounds, right? Because I'm just gonna Kavaero their creatures, dude. At this point. They're gonna 3-man do nothing? No, they're gonna do machines. Mill 2 cards. Well, guess what? You got 2 cards in your graveyard. You got 1 mana. And I got me a Kavaero. How about I take your Artifact? Oh no, he's gonna gain a life. How about I take your Bringer as well? Oh no, he's gonna gain another life. But take 5. Thanks for your creatures. It was touch and go for a moment, but yeah, we need to take your creatures. Human. He's probably just gonna kill this Kavaero. Which goes into my graveyard. He doesn't get an Arduin that way. He's looking at the reef. He's getting salty. Didn't think that someone's gonna use your plan against you, did you? Oh, he's gonna give you more creatures? Oh, dude. He's gotta have a bitter... No, well, he can't have a bitter triumph with the blue, so... What's the plan here? He tapped both of his black. Buddy, what is your plan? Like, really, what is your plan? I don't know. I have no clue as to what his plan is. There's an Overlord, and there's a Terror of the Peaks. So... I'm gonna take your Terror. And I'm gonna attack. Because this is a... what we call in the business a buttload of damage. Alright, let's put a Sewer down. Another Kavaero? It sounds nice, you know. Don't really need to do much, but you have 4. Yeah. Thanks for all the cards. Thanks for playing. GG. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw those Dimir Excruciating games, how does this deck feel? Well, I gotta say, Dimir Excruciator definitely performed exactly as I thought it would. It got, I think, about a 50% win rate, but a frustrating 50% win rate. This is because of the Magic the Gathering Arena bug, where if you have 26 lands in your deck, you are going to have one of 2 scenarios. Drawing 3 lands out of the top 20 cards, or drawing 20 lands out of the top 20 cards. And that's what I faced today. I have flooded half the games. And then I got mana screwed the other half. A lot of times I did get flood, which makes sense since I have 26 lands, but it is still frustrating to feel that flood, where you're not drawing your card draw, like Stock Up and Winternight Stories can definitely fix the flood, but you just keep drawing lands. And then the amount of lands that we've drawn today is over the top, because I have less than half lands, and I've drawn like 8 lands out of 12 cards very often, and then by then I already lost the game. So that's, you know, drawing 12 cards is 5 turns into the game, right? So if you don't draw any card draw 5 turns into the game, your opponent most likely in standard right now will overrun you, and that's what happened in a lot of these games. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. The rest of the games, we stomped them. And that's very fun. So this does have very polarizing results because of that. However, we stomp Kavaero decks, right? The counter Sultai Kavaero deck gets just absolutely destroyed by us because, well, they're gonna mill, but that's all they do. They mill. After they mill, we'll take their creature and then we'll use it against them. As you saw in that last game, we used their Kavaero, we ate their Arden, and then we exiled their Bringer. And then their Arden with their Bringer attacked them into lethal damage, and they're just kind of floundered there. So nice deck, opponent. How about I use that against you, right? That's kind of this how this deck works. This is what I really like about this style of deck, where we are combo, but without just using the combo to win, right? We don't need the Doomsday Excruciator to win. Sometimes we can win with a Kavaero, and copying the Deceit and just attacking. With a 4/4, 5 attack is a win. And then there are times where our opponent has some pretty nifty creature in their graveyard, and we just steal it and we'll attack them and kill them with that either as well. So all that is really good. But I do want to talk a little bit about some of the alterations I want to make to the deck. I do think 26 lands is a little bit too much. I might cut it down to 25 lands, just cut down a swamp. I don't know about the starting town, so probably a swamp. A swamp might be enough. I think 25 is enough because I got flooded very often, and I never really intend to hardcast a Doomsday, although a lot of the games I definitely could have because I got flooded, right? So I think 25 lands is probably enough. And then I also want to cut Insatiable Avarice. I didn't like it. I felt kind of slow, and it didn't feel like it was doing much. So I want to cut those out. I also want to cut out the Shoot the Sheriff. Oh boy, is this a frustrating card, because I faced so many outlaws today. That the 1-mana Lizard Mercenary, that's an outlaw, right? And then there was another card that was an outlaw. I don't really remember, but there was a few outlaws that I couldn't target. Oh, I also So Sanctuary is an outlaw. So Shoot the Sheriff is just a dead card against so many of them that I'd rather have more Bitter Triumph. I'll discard a card, it's fine. Or maybe even more Strategic Betrayal, because sometimes you gotta exile your opponent's graveyard. Right, so that's where I think Shoot the Sheriff really flounders. I also want to cut a Hex. The Hex is a really annoying card because against green or red, I never draw them. But I draw so many of them when my opponent runs 3-drops, and it's just like, alright, this is a dead card. Unlike a Stab, Hex can't hit anything that's more than 2 CMC. Right? 3 CMC or up, this is just a useless card. So I don't like it. I think again, I'm always, on the side of Stab, but I do think Hex has a very strong room in the current standard because there's a lot of 1 and 2 drops. But I think we can go down to 3. And I do want 4 Duress. I want to look at our opponent's hand. Maybe not 4 Duress. Maybe 1 Intimidating Tactic, but I want to look at our opponent's hand. I want to have 8 cards that can look at our opponent's hand, at least 4 on turn 1. Day Black Sun is fun. I love it. I might even add 1 more. So that's where some of the changes I make, right? So I probably cut 1 Hex, cut both to Shoot the Sheriff, and then cut Avarice, and then cut 1 land. And I'll add a Duress, I'll add another Bitter Triumph, and I'll add another Day of Black Sun. And if I have any room left, I'll probably add more stock-ups. Or maybe I'll experiment with a flow state here and there. There's not enough instants, but having 1 flow state really doesn't hurt because we can put an instance in the graveyard at some point with our Shoot the Sheriffs, or not with our Bitter Triumphs or our Hex, right? Sometimes we can just discard them to Winternight Stories anyway. So yeah, we'll be able to get the flow state up. So that's really how I feel about this deck. It's a tricky deck to play, but it's still very, very strong. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.